could have set something up there. They also have the Orchid ready on this push here, so with the relocate in 5 seconds, everyone can be top lane right now for PSG.LGD. For Team Spirit, they don't see very much. I mean, they're rotating a lot of heroes to that bottom lane. I think they just have to go for the counter push.
Yeah, there's no other play really, and they have a glyph still on LGD as well.
They need this blink dagger and collapse before they can defend.
It's going to be too much too quickly otherwise, and you can see getting very close. Collapse just going to farm up the rest of these camps here. Well, bottom, Team Spirit trying to pressure that in.
Toronto Tokyo, he's got the veil.
Okay.
He's got the blink.
He's thinking.
How bold is he?
This guy's crazy. We've seen it time and again, and Faith Beyond shows up.
He just wants the creeps. That's all he's going for here.
Oh, Faith Beyond spots him. The silence is there. That's the Orchid reveal, and he is mega dead.
Yeah, he's really greedy. Yeah, it turns out. Well, you know, you got a full creep wave. That's quite a bit of gold, too.
True.
But almost a certainty when you go over that play.
This does stop the backdoor protection, though. So this is going to stay alive a little bit longer, forcing LGD in this area for a bit. But eventually it will fall.
And already Faith Beyond back to that bottom lane to just push that back out, too. So very well orchestrated there from PSG.LGD. But the courier, it holds the key. Ice Frog, little courier, delivering a blink dagger to collapse. So, you know, he's got a few more things queued up there you guys might have seen already in this tournament. The Shard, the Force Staff. He's made a couple plays. Perhaps some highlight reel ones.
He's been absolutely spectacular.
I think he needs a couple more this game.
True enough. Not if LGD have anything to say about it. They've also had a few highlights at times. And playing on that Earthshaker with the Morphling, you just know that there's pain coming if they're left to free farm in this one.
That's really the worst part of just staying in the upper bracket. Less highlights, you know, less games to play.
True enough, yeah.
Especially when you crush your opponent so hard, and then finally being challenged now by Team Spirit.
They're up one game again. Cinderella story that hasn't died yet. And seeing if it can continue on here in this game number 2. The BKB is done. Taking a look at a few of these other items around the map. Collapse has that blink done. Xingqiu getting closer to his, has it completed as well now. So all of the big fighting items online.
That's a bit frightening. It feels so good because, like, obviously as the offlaner, you got to get these like earlier items. You got a bracer, got a mech, and then you get your blink dagger. When you're playing as a support, you just got that one thing you're striving for, and it's kind of unfortunate when they match up like that because, like, now it feels like your offlaner can actually play, but Xingqiu, like, this is an excellent counter initiation to have right now with the way that their lineup's kind of set up. Like, he can just lurk for so long. He can just wait on the side, and what kind of vision is going to catch him, right? Maybe an orb. Maybe you can take a fight at night like this and have the advantageous vision.
Oh, but the Stewart back immediately onto nothing to say, but he's going to live through that. Nice jump out there. Xingqiu saving the day even under that ward.
I mean, they have relocate, they have Fisher.
Yeah, they were super ready.
That is a tough one, but at least the relocate gets burnt, right?
Yeah.
So that is something for them, but immediately into the Roche.
Oh, and LGD gonna make a bit of a sneaky play here. Did Team Spirit know that this is going on?
Where's your DD, guys?
They're gonna have to push. I mean, this is down to about half HP now. Team Spirit, it's really well covered by the vision of LGD as well, but they're going to smoke up now. Can they get there in time? Aegis, it's super low now. They pull back onto Xingqiu. Going to try and take him down first. And they will get that kill, but it comes at the cost of the Aegis on Ame. No leaving it in the pit this time for any other teams.
No.
For IG, everybody knows.
At the very least, you do get yourselves a kill from that, but surely still happy, you know, Xingqiu. That's basically an exchange. Sometimes you trade a Roche for a tower. Sometimes someone on your team just needs to go and kind of feed to block out the smoke. And in this case, that was just a small feed to help things out here. So another game where, like, the kills have also stayed pretty low.
True.
From game 1 and game 2. Feels like teams are being very picky about their engagements.
So much on the line. It's incredibly tense for these teams. And again, you start to wonder how much the pressure is going to be affecting these plays. We'll have to keep our eyes out for it for sure. But Ame with the Aegis, another 4 minutes with this. And I believe this is going to be the Manta coming out pretty soon for him as well. He can start to play with a little bit more freedom here, potentially.
And currently they already have amazing vision in the top lane. You can see this ward just been staying on the high ground here. About a quarter of its duration left. Nothing to say. Feels confident enough to be up there. They already control the outpost since they took that tier 2 so early. Team Spirit again just forced to try and hold on and try and build everything up into Yotaro this game. Does of course have this buffed up carry mentality that we've been working towards in this main bracket event for pretty much every team. You're going to have the empowered Luna. but you know, it's not the wolf bite, it's not the tiny. So Yadar got to do some heavy lifting here.
Potentially, they have a nightmare, and then the walk away. They actually relocate into this one.
There's relocate. There's Nature's Provi. You know, it's very scary. If you don't have that really quick burst, you don't really want to take it right now for Team Spirit. But they forced out some rotations at the very least. They got to try to hold this tower, I think, or else this really wasn't worth it.
No IO save this time, though. That's the danger of the relocate. Nothing to say outside of vision. They don't see him. Now they do. The pullback, going to be able to get that skewer. The vision not quick enough. And nothing to say goes down. Now looking for more. Ame has to be careful. Xingqiu there as well. Oh, but Ame with the waveform through it. Brilliant play. And afterwards. Now the chase, looking for more. Can they control? Do they have enough for the kill? The Terrorize comes out, but he got the strength form off. Faith Beyond jumps away. The skewer back onto 2. And the RP. Oh, collapsed it into him again.
And look, they're just surrounding him. There's no chance to help. You have the IO, you have the Shaker, but
there is nothing else left in the tank there for Ame, although trying to TP out, but the stun comes through right at the end. And LGD, another triple kill for Yatoro. And Y will manage to escape from that one, but a huge win for Spirit here in game number 2.
That is massive. Oh, what an amazing defense. And Class does it twice in the fight with the skewers, catching nothing to say. Like, you know, you talk about this idea with like the Aegis and like, well, what are you supposed to do with this Aegis? Are we supposed to push towers? Is that the goal right now? So, you know, should it be on the Morphling? You know?
Right.
Doesn't he kind of feel like the harder target to get in the first place, and instead you're sort of hanging nothing to say out to dry? Like, he gets one skewer and there was no chance to save him.
Yeah, I mean, again, part of that is also the decision to stick around after that relocate was used, because that's probably part of their idea behind it.
Yeah, I mean, that's your easiest long-range save, right?
Unreal. 5-6. And Team Spirit playing just absolutely great Dota.
Yeah, I'm sensing a smoke up Echo Slam here soon. You know, this is what you do. You lost your Aegis and you're like, okay guys, this is fine, this is fine. Group out, we're gonna smoke, we've got our other tools back. Let's go dunk on some people.
Xingqiu so often has been the answer and the playmaker for this LGD lineup. Whether it's the Snapfire or this Earthshaker, whatever it is that he's playing, he's making the big moves. So 21 minutes in now, and Yatoro continues to farm. I mean, this is the thing that's really scary, right? Like, how many times have we seen these Lunas just get completely out of control and then just walk high ground with an Aegis? And now it also feels like they have some of those tools with the Blinks online to actually win those Aegis fights as well.
Yeah, sometimes they don't leave that high ground. It just takes one sort of mounting up there and it's over. Part of the reason why they can be a little bit patient here for Team Spirit, but patience, you know, that's not something they're very well known for.
Scary invis, and then the smoke up afterwards. Team Spirit looking on the hunt, but LGD sensing danger coming their way will retreat out. Just
is he gonna horn toss him again, Lyrical? Don't tell me he's gonna horn toss him again.
Oh my god, he got him again, Trent! They did it to him as they find the pickoff. Collapse, you're too good.
What a smell.
Unreal.
Oh, they're so good at just finding that one kill and like waiting for this timing too of just this. Oh, they caught him on the zip.
They pull him back in afterwards. Why? In some trouble. Skewer a little bit off the mark, but the Brambles are there for round 2 of it. Team Spirit, they came to play on finals day, taking down Secret, now looking to go up 2-0 in the series against LGD.
Meanwhile, Faith Beyond at least, you know, getting something back, right?
Yeah,
go grab that outpost, get it. But man, losing the Roche into just like taking over the map right now for Team Spirit. They're just having fun. That's what they say, right? They look like they're having fun.
They do.
Well, Voshka looks like he's having fun. For someone who's playing Bane, that's as much fun as your face gets, I think. You know.
They're on top of it, killing it. And we'll see now if LGD can pull this back. I mean, again, we've talked so much about the effect that pressure has in this lineup. In a lot of ways built to try and just win the Aegis. Not a whole lot else is going to be acceptable for them and the sort of standards that they set for themselves. 5-8.
I love how you see the sentry they put outside the base too, because I had the same thought. I'm just like, where is that ward? Like, how did this Magnus do that? You know, and just nothing. They're just collapse is just too good. He just feels it. He just goes. At the very least, yeah, it's a lot of sentries.
They're all over the place.
And you know, that's because they also have the gem, I believe, still, yeah, on Toronto, Tokyo. So they know that they're in trouble when it comes to the vision game, and so you get into this place where you're just kind of spamming them everywhere. And IO, you know, you heard our lovely draft panel, as well as Insania, talking about like the sustain and everything, and Insania pointed out just like how much more valuable that healing is on the earlier end, right? You know,
yes.
About trying to get as many of these mechs and these holy lockets as early as you can in the game, and when you have to spend on sentries, that can be a bit tough. But at the same time, you have a Shaker on your team, so you're making a sacrifice in terms of the gold to ensure that Blink Dagger is going to be there. Unfortunately, they haven't really gotten much out of the Shaker. A couple nice saves, but Xinqiu's still waiting for his big moment.
And it's tough, right? Because you have to sort of go in and make that chaos happen first with the rest of the heroes on LGD, and specifically Nothing to Say. And he's built all these items to try and stay alive. The Eternal Shroud, going for the Halberd, now into the Plate Mail. And it has just not been able to be enough to keep him alive against the big plays from Collapse. MVP in this game too.
And now, it's nighttime once again. So what do? We smoke. You got night vision, right? You have the advantage there. They're going to have to rely on the treants from Faith Beyond if they want to scout some of these plays out. That is the vision that they have at night. But the edge certainly belongs to Team Spirit.
Absolutely. As they move up onto the high ground, Xinqiu feels like he's safe, but they drop down the ward right away. Xinqiu manages to get out of there, has that shard to create that separation. But again, a ward dewarded and taken away vision from LGD.
They're just going to do the sweeping motion here, right? They actually scanned ahead to see if he could blink in there. He's checking the high ground.
Yeah.
Collapse wants this so bad.
He's ready. He feels the moment, dude. He is so on top of it. Waiting for the vision.
Nothing to say, he's going so far back. He's like, no.
He knows. Fool me. Oh my God, that was close. Fissure afterwards. They're sensing it. They back out of there in time.
He is feeling it today.
Came close there.
I mean, that's what's so cool about the spell, though, is that you can just fish.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes you're not going to catch anything. Sometimes you get yourselves the big old whale.
You know what's also so interesting about this? Like, those two outposts are still held by LGD. They're keeping so much pressure on the map by LGD, and Team Spirit, it doesn't look like they're that interested in trying to take it back. They're just looking for those kills now.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, it's going to be a very long Roche spawn, because that's kind of what they're playing for right now for Team Spirit, right? It's just like, we don't want to rush anything. We just need one more good fight. We're going to clear up this entire base with our Luna, and we want the Roche for that. So they're going to be trying to control around the pit. Someone's going to sit in there. They're going to wait. They're going to be very disappointed for 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
There you go.
And that's just time for PSG.LGD. So what can we stall for here is the question. A Shiva's coming up relatively soon for Nothing to Say, but the Aghanims, that's what we're stalling for. So whenever you get in trouble as a Morphling, you look to say, how good is the next game is it? And it's like, oh yeah, right, we picked Morph Shaker. So we do have that going.
That's going to be the big window that they're looking for. Only 2 points in Enchant Totem right now for that Shaker, but can still be devastating with all the lockdown that you get.
Now, interesting things that we're going to have to watch during that, though, will be the fact that it's the Aeon Disc on the puck, right? So they're going to be looking to catch and chain and even just try and, like, go through that stats resistance while it's actually active on Toronto Tokyo and just try and, like, keep chaining him down because he's not going to have the BKB. And then after that, we also know that Collapse, he really likes these kind of cheeky items, right? He doesn't like BKB. You see the plays this guy's making.
There's the Aeon Disc out. Toronto Tokyo not concerned, just blinks away after the Aeon Disc is procced. And also getting that D-ward again.
So the question will be, when they come high ground, you know, will you find this big Morph Shaker play? Are you going to catch these heroes without the immunity that they need to survive what is obviously a pretty terrifying duo of heroes?
Faith Beyond shows for a second. Collapse, looks for an opening. Sees there. There's an opening. The horn toss, the pullback with Skewer, and immediately gets the kill. Nothing is free, not even pushing out a wave.
Well, that's the kind of punish that you need. I mean, they felt pretty free on this map, right? Because they are moving around as a single unit for Team Spirit, right? And that's why we're spotting some of these heroes just like Faith Beyond's randomly in a spot pushing on a wave, Nothing to Say. That's why they were able to control the outposts for so much longer than you might expect, considering the situation that Team Spirit was in. But the punishes are free, and so they will go back once more for a disappointing look inside the Roche pit, and then wait another 30 seconds, and then they'll go back and do it again.
But look at this. They have that Aghanim Scepter done on the Morphlane now. Puck also just finishing an Aghanim Scepter and has an Arcane Rune bottled.
They're like sending in Wifers. Just these slow movements in. Ready to tether back off Sentry. It's going to catch both.
They have vision right away.
Know they're there.
Collapse. Oh, he doesn't go for it.
We've seen them go into these trees so many times.
Collapse.
I would not be surprised.
He's thinking about it. Xinqiu is back there.
Oh, they're just baiting out.
Yeah, they're waiting on it. And Faith Beyond, in the meantime, farming on the other side.
The Radiant, they scanned that pit there to no success. They're going to send in the Treants, though. So, PSG.LGD, they're in the know. They've got the Morphling, with the Aghanims, with the Shaker, and a team that really wants the Roche. They have a plan.
This could be LGD's comeback here. Can they make it happen, though?
And how long can you sort of like control and force the focus of Team Spirit to be here, and what are you gaining on the rest of the map? I mean, again, they're fanning out a bit here, and you have the global teleportation up at 10 seconds for Faith Beyond. Yeah, you have Ame just farming the Dire Ancients right now, so
are they going to give up this
There go the Treants. I mean, they know they're in there right now. I highly doubt they just give this up for free.
Yadaros is still inside here. They're moving over now. Faith Beyond getting some Treants out, starting to move into position. They're going to lay down these brambles.
They're actually doing this so slow that maybe PSG.LGD are just kind of fine with this.
Are they really going to give up Roche for this, though?
I think they just can't get in the position, right? I mean, they don't have the best vision around the area. They actually see absolutely nothing right now. So, I mean, they know they're in there. They've sent in the Treants. But again, how do you get that initiation when, you know, you're so reliant on, you'd rather just fight on the high ground at this point.
All right, well, LGD give that one up. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them later, as Mira is going to push out this lane up top. Faith Beyond very close, and they're going to have to deal with their lanes, because this is one thing that's definitely beneficial for LGD is their split push potential. Faith Beyond, BKB with that Orchid. Xingqiu shows up. Yadaro up on the high ground, nothing to say there as well. They have great vision on Team Spirit. Now showing in the lane. They're thinking about going, they pull him back in, and he is done. Can they go for any more now? They have full control onto the Luna, but Luna just walks away. Living yet again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's thinking about, like, is there a buyback play there? Because that's a pretty bold sentry to place down.
On just like that, Team Spirit with Aegis in hand. Faith Beyond could maybe go for a play there, but Toronto Tokyo not showing himself, has the boots of travel to join with the rest of the team.
Right? They had the ward near the base. They actually saw that Ame was moving over here.
Oh man, this would be such a huge pickup if they can get him.
The spider legs.
Walking in, they get him with the horn toss, chasing down for more. Ame's done. Team Spirit, everywhere they go, people die.
It's the ward game, you know? Just spots them heading over there. That ward near the base. Lets them know. They chase it down, and now they go up. Will they leave is the real question. There is a glyph available for the Radiant.
True enough. They walk up high ground, and Yadaro going to start beating away, laying claim to this area. In the meantime, Faith Beyond's going to try and push up that top side, but they catch him right away with the glyph collapse. Pulls him back in, breaks the coil. Team Spirit, they're just playing too clean today. LGD need more. They don't have buyback on this Morphling. They can't get 2 racks at the very least on the side of Spirit, but I mean,
do you need 2 racks?
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, maybe Faith Beyond is actually starting to take this one down. Now the jump in. There's the BKB. Faith Beyond still has that Orchid available, but the turn off to the side. Oh, great Orchid to interrupt, and that will be enough to get him out.
That was really well done with the BKB TV. It's like there's one answer, right?
Yeah.
Finds in there with the Orchid, so well done indeed. He will at least take a tier 3, so that's something, but of course there's still lots of time, you know. 2.5 minutes for Luna to just run back to your base. She's pretty fast.
You're not wrong about that one, and can start pressuring down these other towers. There's no more glyph either. The Team Spirit want to make another run at this with the Aegis. They're just so far ahead already. 10k gold. It does not look particularly close.
Yeah, the boots of travel there from Toronto Tokyo, so he's just able to push out this bottom lane. He can be there in a flash too, trying to match some of this global capability that's there from PSG.LGD, but they're still waiting for their shining moment of Morph Shaker. They are in this game, believe it or not.
Just haven't had an opening. Satanic now done too for the Luna.
Couriers just flying in everywhere, dropping off all these new items to Team Spirit.
I mean, Yadaro's almost 10k gold up on the next hero on the enemy team. LGD just don't have an answer for this Luna, particularly with the Aegis. And it looks so free for him. This is the path to victory for Spirit to go up 2-0 over LGD.
They gotta guard this wave that's with them though. Faith Beyond has caught the next one. They're scanning that he's actually still there, so he's going back Toronto Tokyo. He's gonna try and hunt down Faith Beyond.
Oh, and off to the side, they get the vision. Tries to chase him down there. There's the silence, the coil afterwards. Still hits pretty hard on Faith Beyond, but with collapse in the area, they're gonna break the coil and kill off the Prophet.
How fast does he need to buy back is the question.
Oh man.
Can they actually like force it here? I mean, it's gonna be a while for the lanes, right? That's kind of why you're able to sacrifice your life sometimes on Nature's Prophet. I don't think they can punish this simply by the speed at which creeps walk. So it'll be a little bit more time now. for LGD, but what are you gaining in this time? You know, there's gonna get Scotty done, so that is pretty huge actually. Scotty and the Morphling versus this Luna. And again, the Satanic.
I mean, it's looked so one-sided partially because LGD haven't taken that fight yet, right? Like, and there's still going to be that window when they have the, you know, Ag Shaker and can go in all at once together. It's just they're waiting for that perfect fight. Still have to be careful of that one on Team Spirit. And with this Aegis, you would have to imagine it would come soon.
Well, Collapse, you know, I think he wants his perfect game here. He's the only one who hasn't died so far on Team Spirit.
Absolutely carrying out of that off lane.
No kills, too. So giving, you know? Such a charitable offlaner.
That's the way it's supposed to be, absolutely. Ooh, also that Aether Lens for the extra range. So much range on absolutely everything in this game for him. But they're gonna get set up again. Morphling sending in the courier. This one might get scouted here, and
oh, it's on the way out.
Oh, with the Lucid Beam.
Yeah, using the Lucid Beam and
well
the shard.
played. That was that the Scotty? Oh
yeah,
God, killing that Scotty.
Almost 3 minutes of no Scotty, but you know, it's okay. You know, LGD, they don't actually see enemy heroes. They just see enemy creep waves. Right? That's the goal right now.
Okay.
The creeps are the true enemy. So that's why Faith Beyond, you know, he's not up top where the heroes are. He's down bottom where the creeps are. Just keep pushing them out. Keep them away from your base.
Try and extend this as long as possible and then force Team Spirit into a bad position. And, you know, in the last couple of minutes, they caught up and done some bad work.
You know, you look at this Morph. He just keeps climbing.
Will it be enough, though? They can make the most of this, dodge fights, and then possibly get another fight around that next Aegis. That might be their window with the BKB on Ame.
I think what's very impressive from Team Spirit is how long they have just kept this single like ball rolling around together, and they're not panicking. Because a lot of teams, it gets to this point where like it feels like you've been roaming around for so long, and like now the Aegis is gone, so people said like they fan out a bit and they farm, right?
Yeah.
Morph Shaker will punish that with relocate, you know, with a Nature's Prophet. They will find you. They will kill you if you try and go it on your own.
But with all the lanes pushed out now, Team Spirit, without that Aegis, still going to walk up and hit this a couple of times. You have 3,200 HP on Yaro as well as the Butterfly done.
And they have this ward on the high ground. LGD don't know about.
Collapse.
They have Collapse.
So often, he's been the one to make those big plays. They're continuing to push in the bottom lane. LGD hoping for an overreaction from Team Spirit. As they walk up, start to hit these racks, but likewise, bottom lane is being pushed in.
They've morphed in as well, actually. He's fully committed to the Shaker.
Terrorize afterwards, call with the fear and the horn toss to pull back. They got nothing to say.
He's so far away.
They don't have a way to get to him. He is going to die here as they get the Fiend's Grip off and the eventual right click down to death.
Oh, Tokyo in the back. He caught one on the way in, too.
One onto ZQ. He's in trouble now as well. They find themselves another pickoff potentially here. ZQ, nothing else left in the tank, falls down.
That's a nice play. Very heads up there from Toronto Tokyo, just not letting him just get away with offering up the sacrifice of the Lesh rack, you know, not just the goat. We're gonna take what is Shaker? Cow?
There you go.
We'll take that too. Right. Yeah.
They're keeping these lanes pushed out. And this is the only thing. We've seen a couple of teams, you think back to that Quincy Crew game, they were able to keep the lanes shoved in constantly and eventually win with an all-in push. And that might have to be what we see from LGD as well. Maybe a relocate play with Morphling or something like that.
No. Do not say that. I won't allow it.
You won't allow
here. Not some DD relocate Morphling.
There's a chance. There's potentially a way. You got to be careful of your Team Spirit. With this global potential that they have on LGD, anything could happen.
The last outer tower now gone. PSG.LGD.
Faith Beyond AC done. And Team Spirit starting to sense Roche going to be back up. 10 seconds. And with that, it could be the window to close this game out for Team Spirit.
All right, refresher or eggs? What are we getting?
I'm down for either. As it will respawn right now.
Get the eggs.
Interesting. Smoke up though. LGD. Is this finally the fight that they feel comfortable with? They have been sitting on this Ag Shaker for so long. Or Ag's Morphling rather, with the Shaker. BKB now done to boot.
Yeah, that's a good point though. Maybe they get Zinq and eggs here. Yeah, that would be kind of nice.
You can see Team Spirit not comfortable just hitting away in the Roche pit. Nothing to say walks in. Yadaro up front and center. Jeez. Nothing to say, they jump in. There's the control. Oh, the damage out. Mapochka's dead, buys back immediately. Yadaro turns to fight, destroys. Nothing to say. They've got him. Caught to the side. Ame in some trouble. Hitting from the low ground. How many misses are there? It doesn't matter as they chase him down and kill him off. A great win for Team Spirit as they will find more and more. Unbelievable.
Well, the chase continues.
Yadaro just chases him down, and Echo afterwards trying to buy a little bit of space. Nothing to say, but can they kill Collapse? Trying to take him down, but no, it won't happen. On the side, Toronto Tokyo will fall. The big stun afterwards. Yadaro moving in. He's big, he's bad, he's Luna trying to kill him off. The fear, the pullback. Collapse, he's got him. ZQ looking dead as well as they turn and hit. Another one bites the dust, but they buy back now. On ZQ, Faith Beyond getting absolutely shredded. Yadaro is too big. As they catch him in again, the pushback, they got him caught and gonna maybe find the kill. Nothing to say, down low, dead. Another huge win, Team Spirit, they won't be denied. The horn toss catches onto ZQ, and Yadaro just slaughter.
The way they play these fights, they're so in sync with one another. They call it a Cinderella story. Well, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Unreal.
They look good.
And we got a crowd up there. Talent, very excited for this young team's present. They have been absolutely dominant in this one. 2-0.
It's not just the fact that they won 2 games, it's the way they won these games. The patience exhibited here is not something of a young team of like, oh, we crushed the...
The calm, cool collectedness, and now 1 game away from being able to raise that Aegis. Unreal. Very socially distanced crowd. You love to see it from them as well. So we get ready to go into this game number 3, but the man behind it all, Mapochka right there, captain, and keeping everybody with a cool head.
Yeah, well, the man behind PSG.LGD. What are the options now?
I don't know.
You know, you came in, you were the favorites. Everyone expected you to be the ones up 2-0 at this point, you know, for Team Spirit to be digging deep. He's got to come up with these plans. He's been challenged now twice. He's lost said challenge. What is up for game 3?
We'll have to see as we head back to the panel.
Thank you very much, Trent and Lyrical. Yeah, this game started with us talking to Zhao 8, who said regarding the Magnus pick on the side of Team Spirit, it is all in our plans. And gentlemen, the plan didn't work, Tico.
I mean, so first of all, PSG, they're very aggressive early on. They're taking top tower, taking mid tower, trying to go for bot. And then you see how Spirit, they kind of shift away from that aggression. They get up some aggressive wards. Again, Mapochka, MVP in all of these games just because of his vision. My glasses are foggy. They're now gone. But then you have the ability for Spirit to bide their time. And at 20 minutes, they then just turn it up, right? They get this shard of Magnus, and they're just going fishing. As soon as they see someone, whoop, come on over. We got a pot coil. We got a bramble maze on the Willow to go for. We got an Eclipse. We got an overfarm Luna. Yeah, again, I'm looking forward to seeing how they're gonna nerf Toffs after this. Like, it's insane.
Well, how are you gonna nerf Collapse? I think that is a little bit more short term because that is something, Cinderin, that I think PSG.LGD is gonna look to.
Yeah, I think so, honestly, the most important way that that Spirit are winning the games right now is on vision. So a really big part, it looks amazing when you hit all these horn tosses, but the reason Collapse is finding them is that they find themselves in good position where they have better vision. And I think a really key part of that strategy is the Luna pick for the night vision. So, you know, I think what PSG.LGD were thinking when they said they had a plan for this, you look at their draft, right? They have the relocate away from horn toss. They have a hero like Morphling who's really hard to kill in it. They have a really long range stun from the Shaker. So they have potential ideas that could work against this. The problem is you can't be ready all the time. Like, you have an idea of where the enemy might be seeing you, but every time you're caught off guard, you get that snap pick, and they just keep building and building and building. So my suggestion going into game number 3 is I think you have to ban Magnus, and then aside from that, I think, you know, options are open, or you need to set up the draft like you did in game 1, where Magnus was actually ignored in the first phase because of the way the picks went down in that order.
Yeah, let's talk about the start of this game, Tsunami, because it felt a little bit like a repeat of the start of game 1.
Especially because it was another IO draft. Granted, it was a much more different approach to IO, but the dynamic was still quite similar. And I think the cheap initiation, both literally and figuratively, has been very, very popular over the past 6 months. We saw like Beastmaster's Aghanim Scepter being like, I don't need to commit to a fight. I can just toss axes from miles away. Ember Spirit has emerged to be the most popular of the spirits as of the past few months, just because if I get a slight chains, great. Otherwise, I don't really need to go in. And now we're seeing the prevalence of Horn Toss, where it's like, I'll fish for a skewer. If I don't get it, I'm already going back to my base anyway. So I think they're, like Sin said, if you don't think that you can get vision superiority, you're not going to beat Spirit.
No, and they did they didn't beat Spirit in this game too, T-Gov. I want to talk about the Shaker Morph combo because that was something that we saw PSG.LGD go for, and we thought, okay, you know what, they got a set draft, this is what it's supposed to do, but it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, again, it's something that you need time with, right? Like, Morphling needs to get to a couple items plus the Axe to then really join into the game. The Shaker needs to get to his levels to enable the Morphling. Like, you need to have your own map to play. And I think PSG early on, they were really breaking down that map. They were taking these early towers, they're utilizing that Fury, and like they picked off the puck at this tier 2 siege top. Like, it looked pretty good, but it's the fact that Spirit are able to kind of shift away that kind of map movement, and they're over farming on their heroes. Like, a very small thing, and probably wasn't really noticeable, but Yotaro, like, after fights, there was like double waves coming into him. He wasn't even farming the lane. He'd go to the jungle, allow other heroes to take that farm. And it's because you have even distribution of farm to some degree, you're able to continue taking fights every single item timing. You're not waiting an extra 2-3 minutes for the Willer to get a vessel, or, you know, the Bane to get, you know, a 4-staff, whatever. It's the idea that you are being ready at all times. So it doesn't matter if you're playing against Morph Shaker, because you're going to have that 1-2 item advantage the entire game.
And the key thing for the key component for Morph Shaker is similarly, it's vision. It's about seeing the enemy team first, so you can get that fissure combination. If you, in all of these like OS Frog moments we've had in the past, we're like, man, this shit is so broken, you know? It's like out of the fog comes one fissure, then the other fissure. It's like X marks the spot, and they both jump in and kill someone. The problem is, I think we saw that like literally one fight in this game after they got it. Because every time it was Team Spirit that got the initiation. So, I mean, hats off to them. I'm honestly just super impressed. I was one of the non-believers, I'll admit it, going into this finals. I thought, okay, this LGD have looked so dominant. Even though Team Spirit are catching steam here and are looking really good, I still think they're going to falter. And at this point, LGD need to pull an IG from, which major was that? Against EG, the reverse sweep, Singapore major.
They need a question mark.
Yeah, they need a question mark.
They need something. They need something. I like that you said, you know, honestly, I'm really impressed. I know that, you know, you got the Purge voice line going. And speaking of Purge, we're going to him right now because he has more on Team Spirit.
Thanks, guys. You heard from Toonami before about LGD's strengths right now, but let's take a look at what Spirit's doing. One of their big advantages right now is how versatile Yotaro is playing as a carry. And if you can pull out these really effective tools in the right games, it gives you a big advantage in the mid and late game. In this first match of the series so far, Naga Siren with the fast Ags after the Manta gave them great tools against these highly mobile heroes on the PSG side. Very useful against Pango to limit his rolling boulder. You can use it against Ursa to break Enrage. You can send your illusions on Ursa to force him just to retreat, not to engage. And these are some of the tricks that Spirit's used so far throughout the entire tournament, actually, to just break matches. In the previous match that they played against IG, they also had a big advantage too. It wasn't necessarily from, well, it was actually for some weird hero picks here. They grabbed a PA to give them AoE break against the Tide. So in this match, they also used kind of a cool combo that nobody really expected to just punish the enemy lineup. But what was still really obvious, and has been the case for every single Spirit lineup, is that they play so well together as a team. They cover each other's weaknesses. They follow up on each other perfectly. It's like they're mind melded together, and that is the reason that they're currently 2 up in the grand finals here of TI-10.
Yeah, it is honestly incredibly impressive. They're on the side of Team Spirit. They're 1 game away from taking this championship. There's 4 first-timers in their squad, 1 second-timer in Maposhka in their squad. And of course, Silent's got a lot of experience. This is his 5th international, but his first as a coach. So there's that as well. And this team is just on the verge of winning. And I want to talk about that because mind games, a big thing in the TI finals. And we talk about the mind games regarding the money. I think the amount of pressure that PSG.LGD is under, last TI that is won by a Chinese squad was TI 6. And before that, it was all like 1 TI, for the side of China. One TI, not China, etc., etc., etc. But until TI6, and since then, there's not been a Chinese teams winning it. And there's so much pressure coming on these players, on their backs, because they were supposed to be the champions, Tsunami.
A consistent theme of all of the exit interviews that we've seen from the Chinese teams is a great deal of national pride.
Yes.
They don't feel like they themselves are like, oh, we lost, we'll come back stronger next time. They're like, I have failed to represent our region in terms of Dota superiority, because even if they don't make it to grand finals, they have let another region beat them, and they have somehow created more competition now for LGD. Whereas Team Spirit, on the other hand, every single interview I've seen from them, they're just like, yo, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I don't know what game we're playing. I just play a game of Dota that we happen to be on the States, Synerin, that we happen to be playing for extra $13 million. By the way, they don't care, or they don't seem to care.
Yeah,
it's not getting in their head.
I do think it's a pretty key point as well, because as much praise as we're giving Spirit here, and they deserve all of it, I also don't think LGD have fully showed up today. I think some of their moves, they're a little bit hesitant, they're a little less hungry. It seems like there are some nerves, and it's kind of unbelievable when you think about it, because the rest of the tournament, they have looked unstoppable. They've had games where they were super far down, they make the right moves, they win. And perhaps it's always easier to look weak against a team that's playing out of their minds, but it's like there's always a little bit of both, right? So I think for me going into the next game for LGD, Xiao8 actually plays the most important role in the next game, even though he's not even playing, because the team needs to get into the right mind space. They need to get the belief that they can win, and then I think the adjustment they need is that draft. I like the IO suggestion. Try something else, right? It bombed out 2 games now. You're playing against a team that clearly knows what to do about it, so you can still come back. But
what are your first phase bans, though? Are you still going to do Mag Mars? Because I think you have to target Collapse.
Again, the key thing here is the fact that I believe PSG had the choice of going for first or second pick, right? And they themselves put them in the position of allowing Spirit to ban out the Tiny and the Monkey, forcing themselves to either ban the IO themselves or pick it, right? So in this position, it does feel like you'd like to see something different from PSG. The IO hasn't really worked out. Just add some more stuns, add that ability to break down the map a little bit better, and then they should be in a good stead. And going back to the point of PSG and the expectation, you think about Spirit and how they got here. They just played the lower bracket game, right? They're 1 game down, they win game 2, they win game 3. Like that momentum, that is so hard to attain, in any competition, right? So that is very much why they're feeling confident. And of course, you do have the head kissing versus the belly rubs, and therefore head kissing is 2 up right now.
All right, gentlemen, here they come. It is time very soon. We'll see game 3 of this grand finals. And this 3rd game could potentially be the last. Right now, Team Spirit is up 2-0, and it has only happened once before that a team was able to 3-0 their opponent in a grand finals. PSG.LGD, we know they have it in them to force out that game 4, but we need them to believe in themselves and in their draft as well. We know also that they can do it. Faith Beyond and Y both have already got a TI win under their belts. They won TI6 with wings. We have seen Ame being in a grand finals. TI8, of course, that was one of the closest grand finals we have had, and unfortunately Ame wasn't able to take it, but it came very close, and we knew that the pressure there might have been a little bit too much, but we know that he can do better than what he is showing right now, Tigov.
Yeah, it's just so difficult, right? Like when you're 2-0 down, this is really where you need to kind of just come together. And even if, like, say, one person hasn't been standing up or the team hasn't been performing to their best potential, they just need to rally around what they've been doing well to get to this point, right? Like they're in the grand finals, they've clearly been doing something right. So this is where you just need to kind of break that off, reset, go again, treat it like it's the first game in the series.
That is so hard to do. It sounds so easy when we say it. Hey, just don't think about that you're 2 games down. Just play a game of Dota, Tsunami. How hard is it?
But the problem is they've just now lost as many games in this grand finals as they have throughout the entire tournament.
True.
I don't know if they're used to losing. They have having to repair is a challenge, and Spirit has had to repair on their journey here. And having that lower bracket run, coming into the past 2 days, playing 2 series means that in their second series, they're already warmed up. LGD was sitting here waiting for the secret series to finish. They have not had to be on the back foot and be like, oh my gosh, okay, we gotta change our dynamic. I have no doubts that Xiao8 would be able to deal with that, but it needs to come now or you're gonna lose.
Isn't it kind of crazy to think about that no matter what the score is in this grand finals, LGD has a better win rate at this tournament than Spirit.
Yeah, that's
by
true.
far. Like, it's not even close.
No,
Like,
yeah, it's not.
Even if they 3-0, their win rate is still way worse. So that's what finals are about. Like, it's the final game. Have you got it when it matters the most so far? Spirit definitely do. Yeah, for me, I'm just super excited to see the draft because I think this third game is very telling about the mentality. When you're kind of broken like this, when you're down 0-2, there's like two approaches to take. There's the crazy approach where you just throw everything out the window, you do something completely different. And there's the one where you're like stubborn to the, like almost to the limit, right? Where you're like, no, we can still win with this damn IO. We're going to try it a third time in a row and we're going to adjust some of the bans. So I'm really curious. And I honestly, depending on your perspective on it, I think I can see both approaches as a sign of strength and a sign of weakness.
Sure.
So it's kind of hard to just say out of the first two, but I really, really, really want to see what they're thinking right now.
But do you want to be the team that potentially loses 3-0 in the grand finals to the underdog, just going IO every single time, not really changing it up?
I think that's something you kind of have to nod in your head, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to shut that out. As repetitive as it sounds, you gotta treat this game as a fresh game, a standalone game, not having the pressure of $13 extra million on your head, not having the pressure of an entire region on your head, and not having the pressure of Coach Zhao on your head, and everything that comes with winning the international. And you just gotta play a game of Dota, play a pub. And you know what? Nothing to say. He's been playing so many pubs. He is the world ranked 1 player. I feel like we haven't really seen him step up that much yet, Tsunami. Is that because of his heroes that he's been playing today?
I think partly the heroes that he's playing, but also the heroes that his team is playing. I think that he hasn't been given the correct draft to let him pop off on a thing like Ember Spirit that we were talking about. Give him some cheap initiation that he can get in and out. Give Spirit a taste of their own medicine, because so far, every time you're running an IO strat, it's more on the shoulders of Ame to finish the game off, and that has not been happening for the first 2 games.
So to beat Team Spirit, you gotta pick a Spirit, Tigo.
Ooh.
Maybe so. I actually hate spirits. Don't forget that.
But
no,
you like to break a spirit, though.
I do like to break a spirit. But yeah, Team Spirit, their second pick, right? So in both the previous 2 games. So in the draft order, that simply means that they get to pick the core after seeing 4 heroes and the mid after seeing all 5 of PSG 2 times in a row. So we mentioned the idea of the impact of Ame, the impact of Nothing to Say. It is a product of the Lesh was a sacrificial type pick in the draft. This Pangolier was kind of thrown out there, not a comfort from Nothing to Say. So I would really love to see either they shift around their first pick drafting style to enable the players a bit more, or take that second pick one time and just give it a go where they actually get to go, okay, this is our best core in the game, this is our best read on the game, and give it a go. Because right now, Spirit is utilizing that 18 and 24 very well.
Yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. It is time for Game 3 of this Grand Finals.
Team Spirit versus PSG.LGD. Grand Finals, Game 3.
Welcome again to the draft panel of the Grand Finals for Game 3 between Team Spirit and Team LGD. And honestly, no questions this time, because I really want to see exactly how they've adapted their bans to Team Spirit's lineup. We actually saw that LGD, they were choosing first pick before, but they've made an adjustment here and they took second pick.
Yeah, it means that now this is all about Team Spirit. Team Spirit is in the driving seat more than ever. They are forcing LGD to, they're making them second guess themselves. They're making the 15-1 group stage team, the upper bracket dominant team, they're making them completely question everything that brought them so far. And that is crazy. So now Team Spirit is leading the charge. LGD is switching things up, maybe trying to put the players back in their comfort zone. We were sitting there watching their body language with Johan, like in this pre-stage kind of area. Chao 8, arms crossed, them looking at their feet, not looking at each other, not sharing, energy. This is what you need when you're back against the wall. You need to be there for each other. You need to bring the momentum back. You have to create it somehow, because obviously the Dota is not bringing it. And on the other side, you have Silent talking to them, and they're all looking at it, kind of drinking whatever word he's giving them, and they're uniting, feeling, bringing the uprising energy.
It's 2 completely different teams right now from what we could see body language-wise. I wonder if this change-up will make them feel slightly better, because now it's a new page, new book. Shao 8 is going to go back to a second pick. Maybe that will give them some type of confidence boost or belief in now what they're going to do. I do think that they need to play harder, play better. Team Spirit is showing up today, and LGD, they need to bring their A game every game.
And we see, like, even though they lost last game, even though they're down 2-0, I think this might actually be a good sign for LGD.
Yes.
They're still confident, even against what Collapse showed on the Magnus. I think this is the first time I've really seen people pick the right counters against Magnus.
Finally.
You need to deal with the skewer, right?
It is finally coming up, and I also want to mention, like, this is the beauty of Dota. Magnus has dominated many patches. It has dominated many years for different reasons. It has been about Empower at times. It has been about RP at times. This Magnus is about skewer. It's about repositioning a hero in a way where the fight is so unfair for one team.
Yep.
But this skewer play is stoppable. It's stoppable by a Rubik Lift, probably one of the best tools in the game. Yule Scepter, you know, Lion Hack, like Force Staff. There are ways to stop this skewer from happening. This Magnus doesn't buy BKB early in the game. He's playing with Force Staff, either lens, like, and you have to stop it. And I love the confidence from LGD in a way. You know, maybe Xiaowei, maybe somebody in that booth is telling them, hey, I know this Magnus looks strong, it looks unbeatable, it is beatable. Stop the skewer play. Now you end up with a Magnus stuck in the fight, cooldown skewer, he's just gonna die. No RP, the whole team fight goes away. And then the fight is absolutely terrible. Great way from LGD to counter it. It is abusable, and they're going for it. I love it. That is confidence.
Yeah, I think LGD, whatever it is going to take for them to really find themselves and play like LGD, they need to find it now. They don't have any more chances. You don't have another game to lose. This is going to be a good route, but I am still very worried for them and worried for what's going to go through their heads if they get into this game and it starts going south at any point.
You want to win TI, you have to be the best. You have to be the greatest team of the season, or you know, at that point. And the greatest team has to be able to play Dota to their fullest, even down 0-2. And if they can't do that, then it was Spirit's win. So now is the cornerstone. This is definitely where the finals is going to be decided one way or another, or either it's going to be decided now or we're going to get another round of great Dota, which I'm hoping for. Like, I want to see 5 games, but definitely if LGD is going to break, it's going to be now.
Yeah, I mean, what a run, though. I got to give Spirit a lot of credit and Collapse a lot of credit for what we've seen so far. It's been insane, the stuff that they're doing, the stuff that they're pulling out. If you were to go replay analysis, Spirit before today, you could pick up something, but this is still a different team than yesterday. They are better. They are more confident. They're more free, and they are picking whatever they feel like picking and doing whatever they feel like doing.
They're blossoming. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful
I think
to
we've
see.
seen that. The entire lower bracket run, I mean, they're a team like, oh, maybe it can beat this team. I mean, unfortunately, they eliminated you guys, but throughout every series, I think, as you said, like, they're bringing out better and better Dota. And all this momentum, like, it's come crashing into LGD. Like, they were, by far, I think, the favorites of this tournament. But now they're down 0-2. I want to mention this Undying pick. So in my head, like, Magnus, he repositions the fight. So maybe Undying, he has troubles with that. But is it just, like, because of the Rubik Lift, they're so confident in stopping that, you can, like, anchor a fight with a Tombstone? Or, like, what do you guys think about the pick?
It is possible. It's also a very good hero against Magnus on the lane. There's that too. And you also have to keep in mind they're playing second pick. So they have to kind of show cards. You probably better show an Undying card than another card. It's like strong laner, probably going to allow Ame to pick out of a very wide pool of hero because he knows that his lane is secure no matter what.
They also run out a lot on Faith Beyond.
Yeah.
So that could be a possibility.
True. Could be a possibility. Like, the way I look at it, and I think strategy-wise, what could be very interesting from Team Spirit is like, okay, they get it. They're going to try to stop the skewer. But Magnus has been dominant for other reasons, as I mentioned. Maybe you can play an Empower strategy, where, you can play you can build up on top of this Magnus, get a hero to, the Mag Jugger, for instance. It's not as much